The moment Park Jimin steps into a room, something shifts. It's subtle at first, almost imperceptible, like a change in air pressure before a storm. Conversations soften, cameras rise, and eyes, whether they belong to fans, celebrities, journalists, or complete strangers, inevitably find their way to him. This phenomenon has been observed countless times over the years, yet it never loses its impact. Once again, the world is reminded of a truth that feels increasingly undeniable. No one is immune to BTS Jimin's charm. Jimin's presence is not loud or aggressive. It doesn't demand attention through force. Instead, it draws people in gently, almost effortlessly, with a magnetic warmth that feels both intimate and universal. In an industry overflowing with stars, where talent and visuals compete relentlessly for recognition, Jimin occupies a rare space, one where artistry, humanity, and emotional resonance meet. This unique combination has shaken the global entertainment scene time and time again, and its effects continue to ripple far beyond music. The quiet power of presence. What makes Jimin's charm so compelling is that it cannot be reduced to a single trait. It's not just his voice, though his tone, soft yet piercing, delicate yet powerful, has become instantly recognizable across the globe. It's not only his dance, although his movements have been studied, analyzed, and praised by professionals who describe him as fluid, expressive, and almost otherworldly. And it's certainly not just his visuals, though his ethereal beauty has sparked trends, sold out products, and dominated social media timelines. Jimin's charm lies in how all these elements come together seamlessly. When he performs, he doesn't simply execute choreography. He tells a story with his body. Every glance, every breath, every subtle gesture feels intentional, yet natural. Audiences don't just watch him, they feel him. This emotional connection is what separates fleeting popularity from lasting impact. At public events, this same quality translates into a different kind of power. Jimin doesn't need grand gestures or dramatic statements. A smile, a small bow, a moment of shy laughter is enough to captivate an entire crowd. Even seasoned industry figures, people who have spent decades surrounded by fame, have been visibly charmed by his sincerity and grace. A global reaction that speaks volumes. Whenever Jimin appears, whether at an airport, a fashion event, a concert, or a private schedule that somehow becomes public, the reaction is immediate and explosive. Social media trends ignite within minutes. Headlines spread across continents. Fan communities mobilize, sharing photos, clips, and emotional reactions at a speed that feels almost unreal. What's remarkable is the consistency of this response. Different cultures, languages, and age groups all seem to react in the same way. There is awe, admiration, and a deep emotional pull that transcends borders. Jimin's charm does not require translation. It is instinctively understood. International media outlets have often struggled to articulate this phenomenon. Articles describe him as mesmerizing, enchanting, and irresistible, yet these words barely scratch the surface. Analysts note how his influence extends beyond BTS's already massive reach, positioning him as a cultural figure in his own right. Fashion houses, music critics, and entertainment executives alike recognize that when Jimin is involved, attention follows. The artist who feels everything. Part of what makes Jimin so captivating is his emotional transparency. He is not an artist who hides behind a carefully constructed persona. Over the years, he has spoken openly about pressure, self-doubt, growth, and gratitude. This honesty resonates deeply with fans who see their own struggles reflected in his journey. On stage, this emotional openness becomes a powerful artistic tool. When Jimin sings about longing, vulnerability, or passion, it feels lived in, real. His performances often leave audiences silent in moments where applause would normally erupt, as if people need a second to breathe, to process what they've just experienced. This emotional authenticity is rare in an industry that often prioritizes perfection over sincerity. Jimin proves that vulnerability is not a weakness. It is a strength that can connect millions of people across the world. Fashion, influence, and cultural impact. Jimin's charm has also reshaped the fashion landscape. Whatever he wears, whether it's a luxury brand ensemble or a simple everyday outfit, quickly becomes a topic of discussion. Items associated with him sell out almost instantly, a phenomenon that industry insiders refer to as the Jimin effect. Luxury brands have taken note. Designers praise his ability to embody elegance without arrogance, confidence without detachment. Jimin doesn't just wear clothes, he gives them life, infusing them with emotion and narrative. His presence at fashion events often generates as much buzz as the collections themselves, if not more. Beyond fashion, Jimin's influence can be felt in music trends, performance styles, and even the way idols interact with fans. Younger artists frequently cite him as an inspiration, not just for his technical skill, but for his work ethic, humility, and emotional depth. The human side of a global icon. Despite his immense fame, Jimin has consistently maintained a reputation for kindness and respect. Stories from staff members, collaborators, and fellow artists paint a picture of someone deeply considerate, someone who remembers names, expresses gratitude, and treats everyone with warmth. This humanity amplifies his charm. Fans don't just admire him from a distance, they feel connected to him. They celebrate his successes as if they were personal victories, and worry about his well-being as they would for a close friend. This bond is not accidental. It's built through years of sincerity, effort, and mutual respect. Jimin's interactions with fans, whether through messages, live broadcasts, or subtle gestures during performances, often carry an emotional weight that lingers long after the moment has passed. He has a rare ability to make millions of people feel individually seen. A charm that transcends the stage. What truly sets Jimin apart is how his charm exists beyond performance. Even in still photographs, there is a sense of motion, a quiet intensity that draws viewers in. In interviews, his thoughtful responses and gentle humor reveal depth and intelligence. In behind-the-scenes moments, his playful side emerges, reminding the world that behind the global icon is a person who laughs easily and feels deeply. This multidimensional presence is why Jimin's influence continues to grow rather than fade. He is not confined to one role or image. He evolves, experiments, and challenges himself, inviting the audience to grow alongside him. The world watches, again and again. Each time Jimin steps into the spotlight, there is a sense of anticipation. What emotion will he convey this time? What story will he tell? How will he surprise us again? This anticipation keeps the global audience engaged, invested, and eager for more. The phrase, "no one is immune," feels less like a dramatic headline and more like a simple statement of fact. Jimin's charm does not discriminate. It reaches fans and non-fans alike, critics and supporters, newcomers and longtime followers. Once experienced, it is impossible to ignore. A lasting legacy in the making. As BTS continues to shape the future of global music, Jimin's individual impact stands as a testament to the power of authenticity and artistry. He represents a new kind of star, one who leads with emotion, connects through sincerity, and leaves a lasting impression without ever forcing it. In a world saturated with noise, Jimin's charm feels like a quiet truth that resonates deeply. It doesn't shout to be heard, it simply exists, undeniable and unforgettable. And as the scene continues to shake under the weight of his influence, one thing becomes increasingly clear. This is not a fleeting moment. This is the ongoing story of an artist whose presence changes the atmosphere, whose charm crosses borders, and whose impact reminds us that genuine emotion is the most powerful force of all.